Welcome back to Decked Out Jon Boats. Today we're going to be back with Craig Gordon. We're going to talk a little more about Pure Watercraft and how other companies are helping to bring all of the Jon Boat anglers together. So you run an 1870 Express and it's custom decked out. Do you currently run a jack plate on it, or you just have the motors directly onto the boat?
Yep, I run a jack plate, so a hydraulic jack plate. I put it. Does it have to be hydraulic? Maybe not. Yeah, I think we've done some play. I wanted on there because I wanted to find, and I knew we were gonna be playing with a beta motor. I didn't want to you know take a guess at what it should be first of all,
Right.
and then a manual one adjusting it, and then doing a run, adjusting it, do a run, all this stuff, and conditions too when there's waves versus not, or even just being able to jack it up to run in shallower water, which I don't fish very deep to begin with. So it just gives you some more flexibility. You have that and a tilt. It's pretty much the ultimate. But I actually run I knew it was from the prototype. I mounted my jack plate before they even brought my first beta motor out, and I knew at least that their motor was that needed to be lower in the water, even at the top of mine. So what I actually did was I got a hydraulic jack plate. I actually got 10 inch 10-inch setback,
Setback.
not the normal 5, because I just thought 5 was, well. Here's the thing. I put it I mounted it 5 inches below the back of my boat because I knew it could come up 5 inches, and I
Right.
knew the top of my boat was too high and it was sucking air. So I figure the sweet spot's got to be somewhere in there. So I mounted it. I mounted it that low, um, and with that, I wanted to make sure if it tilted up, again, think of it 5 inches below. Here's the jack plate motor in the back of my boat. I didn't want the motor tilting up and hitting the back of my boat. So worrying about that. So kicking it back 10 inches, I knew I was going to be safe.
So what kind
So
of speeds are you seeing from the Pure Watercraft on your boat?
so fully loaded, we did runs. You've seen the video, and we got those from well, I did some others myself that I posted, but we ran. I think tops. It was 22.7 and that's fully loaded. Two people in there. Some practice days, but that's fully loaded. We had cooler of ice and all the rods, everything we'd have on a tournament day. So that's really decent, I think.
And how many battery packs are you running?
That was I've just had run 2, um, but I plan still debating. I mean, I think most it again. It depends. Even with your lead batteries, it depends. You want to run hard and most of the time, or if you cut back down to 50% or 25% or something like that, you can run for days. So same thing there. So what I still need to do. I really only kind of got their motor mid last year and need to do some more playing around. Really only got to throw it on Liberty, which is our biggest one. Again, that one you need to run. You'd like to run up 6, 7, 8 miles or whatever. So need to do some playing with what's the um, best speed to run up and hopefully back at. But you want to figure out ideally what's your minimum planing speed
Right.
that you can get up on plane first, but then cut it back as much as you can, but still be at that ultimate less drag, but you can cut your
Power
amp
consumption.
draw and everything down. So I think I can run in the 16ish, and still be on plane after I cut back.
Is that
Um,
so? So you're running. So you get it up on plane. You run the minimum speed to keep it on plane and be efficient. And how far of a
yeah,
run are you running and running back to give everybody an idea of the range?
just well, even with ran about 2.5 batteries, and they weren't even like fully charged, full capacity against part of testing all the beta stuff and everything. But we ran up one of the runs we did. I know we ran 7.5 miles up to a very popular, kind of like one of those community hole type spots, and we ran up there, and it's nice to run 7.5 miles in 28 minutes. Um, make it up there, and then wait, 20 minutes, 25 minutes for somebody, to come up or whatever. But and then with what I had at the time, you could run back slower to about uh, come down a few miles, 2, 3 miles or whatever, and then could run on full 3 miles back. So it's pretty much 10 miles on full, and that's lots of other running around for the entire day. I think I probably ran a total of 28 miles. Um, so most of the not when I'm not on plane running around at 6 to 8 miles an hour, and the rest of that at full planing speed. So
And that was
that's a
on,
lot.
and that's on 2 batteries, and you didn't run them down with all that running.
That was probably 2.5, and that what I would say is totally drained. So I'm not gonna
Totally.
lie. Yeah,
Gotcha.
totally drained. So yeah. So like I said, I gotta need to do some more testing on running, the beta motors, or batteries and motor and everything, and everything's just getting better and better.
Now, one of the good
So,
things with lithium is when you do run those batteries down, how long does it take you to charge them back to full capacity?
they charge quickly. And there's two nice thing about the Pure. One of the many nice things about the Pure is that you can just daisy chain your batteries together as whatever, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you want, and they'll charge them all pretty much at the same speed with as you would just charge one. So I know when they're about 50% down, they will really charge from 50% all the way back up in about 2 hours
Wow.
or so. I mean, it's smoking, and that's and their charger also, it's their own custom made charger and everything, but it has an option to use their system's 350 volts. First of all, make sure everybody's aware of that. So it's like a shocker to a bunch that run 48 volts, or I guess the new Elco is a 96 volt, but 350, it shouldn't be a shocker. It's the same thing all the electric vehicles, all the cars run on. So, um, so I'm not sure why there's nothing in between, there, but 350 is just the norm for electric vehicle market and everything. But anyway, the charger that Pure offers is um, you can set it up to use 200 amp. Yeah, and again, it'd be the same as putting the plug in that you would need to charge your electric car at home. So you can do that, or you can run it off the standard 110. So I have both. Um, and just it's whatever. Sometimes you don't care whether you're going to supercharge it overnight in between tournaments, in between practice or whatever. I just even with the lead, they used to always say charge it slower. It's less of a shock on the batteries, whatever. So
Hey,
I played with both of them again to test the charger as well. But it's
so
nice having that supercharger, and you only need one charger. It's not like per battery. I got a lot of questions about that. Do you need each battery, or if you add two sets of 48, do you need a BMS and charger on each of them? But chargers, and when you're talking these systems, you're talking, you get the high end lithium and everything. Some of those chargers are $1,000 a piece or $2,000 a piece. Even the ones for a lead, 48 or 60 or whatever, you're getting those custom made, and you're probably in the 300 to 500. Right? So
yeah.
they're not cheap. So you do need to think about the charger.
So the charge times that you said about 2 hours from 50%, is that on the 220 or the 110?
That was the 220. Yeah, yeah.
Anything else you think we should cover on the Pure Watercraft?
I think you guys got them. I don't know what feedback you've gotten down there. I mean, I saw Josh did a great post for people that haven't seen that when you interviewed him earlier. They do have, like I said, the Pure's in the middle of their beta. I think they're going to get a lot of the beta motors out into their beta customers this year. And, normal innovation cycle is going after the beta, coming out with doing a generally available. They're not generally available yet that everybody can just go out there and purchase, but, do encourage everybody to go out there and put the down payment. It's a fully refundable, just $500 just to get in line, because the line's getting deep.
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
so you're
It
not
is
talking.
getting a lot of PR, and I think it's a great product they designed from the ground up, which makes them different.
Yeah, there's great stories if you go out on look at their blog and look at the story. It's one blog that's the story of their company and why they built a lot of their stuff by themselves, and including the starting from the motor to the batteries, and all the history around that and the logic. It's their story. This is our story. So read it. It's a great read. If you're into electric, regardless if you're getting one or not, to history. We all keep track of all the motors. Our friends, our competitors have them, so it's good to keep track of what everybody's doing.
Is that the prop that you're running now? Is that the only prop that you've run on that motor, or have they tested out different props?
You're talking the Pure. I've only run with their whatever, just standard prop that it comes with, but um, I don't think it's um, any secret or anything, but that they'll work on different props, just like Torpedo has speed props and other props, and they'll be coming out with something similar that could be significant, adding miles per hour, not tenths per hour, miles per hour on top of what's already there. Again, that the trade-off top end speed, you usually lose the torque. Um, Often it draws more power, so there will be trade-offs. And again, when it might be one of those deals. Okay, run the speed prop on the smaller lakes, and you don't care that you're going to use up more power, because you don't need more power because it's a shorter runs. So it might be one of the deals you just switch that out and use a speed prop on a small one, or it might be just leave it on the whole time. So again, more testing and more to be seen, more innovation, more changes in the product.
Well, if anybody's looking to follow either you, your club, or Pure Watercraft, what platforms y'all have to do that?
We have, I belong to Metro Reservoir Anglers, so I created the website, maintained the website and everything, but a lot of other people helping with that. Not going to take full credit for that by any stretch, but at metroreservoiranglers.com, make sure you spell reservoir. It seems to be a tough word for a lot of us fishermen to spell, but get that spelled right. So there's a lot out on our site, all kinds of articles, helpful articles, blogs people post to help others out. Of course, our results and stuff like that. That's always good. Similarly, have a Facebook site that we try to keep all of them in sync to help as many different mediums as we can leverage to get the word out about tournaments, and if anything happens on the reservoir, you know, whatever. So the Facebook site, the website, there's other clubs as well. You know, electric EBA, Electric Bass Anglers as well. Uh, Site. We pretty much post on all of them, and there's a bunch of Facebook sites like yours. Um, and there's one on every single reservoir that we fish on: Fishing Liberty Reservoir, Fishing Lock Raven Reservoir, Fishing Pretty Boy Reservoir. I think a lot of your guys I know are on ours, and we're on yours. So just again, everybody's got a huge appetite for fishing.
Right. And that's one of the things I'm trying to do with my group, is to bring us all together and build a big community, because, I think electric only is a very overlooked part of bass fishing.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I think it has the potential to be one of the biggest groups, because it is affordable. You can take it to whatever level you want to. It's more fishable than a kayak. It's more affordable than a bass boat. I mean, it's kind of the best of all worlds. So
Yeah, and actually that's good. You just jogged my memory. So is it 3 years now? I think. So on our website, it's posted. I think I forget which of the clubs down south are in it, but there is this basically electric, national electric um, uh, tournament. Tournament meaning there's some. I think there's seven. Maybe last year was nine clubs in it, but it was started by, sponsored by Elco Motors and worked with Walt Marchand, who is our president, and they put it together. And what it is, just real quick, um, ditty on that, is that it's a tournament, and it's a tournament. So you go down south and you compete against them. Like, no. So what it is, there's some basic rules to belong to it. You have to have so many. I think you have to have. Walt's gonna have to correct me. He'll tease me later.
I think you're talking about the E-Bank, the Elco National
Yeah,
Championship.
yeah, that one. Yep. So maybe you know more about it, but you have to have so many members, and then you fish your tournaments. So you might fish, your club might fish 10, ours might fish 7 or whatever, but you pick your five, and um, common point system. And so everybody uses the same point system, so that you're fishing against your club, but then by points you're fishing against the other clubs. And then there's also some tiebreaker in there in terms of, I think it's called weight dominance factor is the category of, so basically how badly did you beat the other people in your club,
Right.
as a comparison, is about what that equates to. So, but anyway, put all those factors together, and then it's the winner, were from one of the southern clubs. Elko is giving away one of their 20 horsepower or 10s, for the winner. So it's nothing to join. They just run it, and other than belonging to one of the clubs that's participating. Right. And there's a wait list for that as well. But Walt, Elko, everybody does a great job with that.
I agree.
That's good. Another thing,
it's
keep
good
an eye on.
Good that they're bringing all the clubs together like that, and having a competition, so we all know about each other, and the great product that they do put out with Elko.
Yeah, and that's the best thing. The fact that we were all started to connect and reach out, and Walt and Elko, all these other people were talking and trying to figure out where are all these other leagues. And there's a bunch, and I think there's a bunch on the wait list that initially you don't want to grow it to 30 teams. There is a bunch of work to tabulate everything, and especially kicking it off the first year or whatever. So I think that'll continue to grow, and it's just another good way, along with Facebooks and websites, that we're able to connect. And here, you and I talking, we're in two totally different states, and
exactly.
Guys talking about the same stuff, had the same boat and everything, and you doing these great shows that you do. So
I appreciate that.
All good stuff. Well, like we talked earlier, we can talk, and we can't get enough fishing.
Exactly. I'm as Ike Nelly calls it, which is another guy that came from Electric Only. He calls it a fish head. I am a fish head.
Fish head, gear head. Got to do something. So.
Well, I definitely appreciate your time, and anytime you're more than welcome to come back on the show. Hopefully we can help spread the word, not only about electric only fishing, but Decked Out Jon Boats and Pure Watercraft and all the other great electric only companies out there.
Be great, and maybe we can get an update as we get along the year, especially if along with Pure, some of the beta testing feedback, other people, even getting to the launch, possibly getting one of their either Andy or somebody else on the line. It's a great interview. Looking forward to doing another one. Thanks for the opportunity to do this one as well.
It was great getting to talk to you finally. Like I said, you're welcome on the show anytime there's new developments with Pure Watercraft, any exciting stuff going up in the Maryland electric only community. And thank you for being part of Decked Out.
Yep, my pleasure.
Thank you for sticking with us at Decked Out Jon Boats. If you would hit that like and subscribe button down below, along with that bell icon, so you're notified anytime there's a new video from Decked Out Jon Boats. Till next time, this is Brett Cummings with Decked Out.